Noise canceling headphones, but do they work? Let's check them out. Oh, Dave Taylor here, and I'm listening to these. These are the Cleer TREK noise canceling headphones, and there's good and there's not so good. So let's start with the good. The good is they actually have good sound, and that's done because they have 12mm neodymium drivers. It's not the easiest word to say, with extended bass. Now, having said that, you heard me use the word good. These are not fantastic, blow you out of the water sort of sound. They are good. It has an okay sound stage. It has reasonable bass response and everything, but I didn't find that it was really amazing. And that's including when you turn on the active noise cancellation, which also ends up acting a little bit like an amp in line, so like the volume goes up a little bit. But here's one of the things I found is that they don't get super loud. Now, I have pretty good hearing. I listen to a lot of different audio gear, so I'm used to when things get really loud and when things aren't so loud. And I just felt like even with maximum volume, and you're not supposed to do that, but maximum volume on a variety of different devices, I felt like it still wasn't quite as loud as I really wanted for fully immersive audio experience. Your experience might be different. I will say they are really good for phone calls with both echo and noise cancellation built in and microphone and all that, obviously. So use these for phone calls. It's very comfortable. And the people at the other end have said to me, wow, you sound really good. What's going on? Are you not on your phone? Well, you know, what's happening? So that's a real plus. Now, another plus is that they have really nice battery life. They have in here a 300 milliamp hour battery, which is not very much, except a 5-minute charge will get you an hour of playback, and a full 2-hour charge will get you 13 hours of music listening with noise canceling on. That's actually pretty darn impressive. Now, it comes with bag, and in the bag it comes with all sorts of different size ear tips, and they also have what they call the free bits, which I will show you what they look like. Let me just pull one out. So these optionally go on top of the earbuds, and they give you that little wing that you can actually sort of wedge in your ears. So it gives you a lot more of a secure fit. If you're the kind of person whose ears are not super headphone or earbud compatible and things keep falling out, this sort of stuff can be your savior. These can make things a whole lot better. For me, things work pretty well, so I don't generally use those. I will say, however, that it comes with small and medium and large, both the ear tips, which they called free bit wings, and just the generic ear tips themselves, the ones that just go on the end. Take the time to find the right size. It makes a lot of difference with the sound. Having the right size gave me a whole lot more bass than when I had the default ones on. So that's really important. Now, it also has charging. Let me just show you here. So that's the active noise canceling circuitry and system. And on one side, it has a micro USB connection for charging and a little tiny LED light that is super important and way too subtle. And then on the other side, there's the on-off slider with nothing to indicate which one's on or off, except the tiny LED. And I found the LED super confusing. In fact, I found using this headphones really kind of confusing. And so they have a chart. And I can tell you from the chart that here's what's really important, is that if you have active noise canceling on, then the blue light is on solid. If you turn it off, the blue light is blinking. If you actually have ambient aware, which is sort of this middle ground between the two, then you have double blue blinks. And you know what? I found that I was just constantly switching between them, and the switching control is on this inline. So the switching has nothing to do with whether this is turned on or off, although obviously if it's turned off, you can't turn it on from here. So you turn it on here and you still have to enable it, and then you're pushing this button, and then you're looking at this to try to figure out, well, it's blinking blue. Does that mean it's active or ambient or off? So I found that I just constantly pushed buttons and tried to figure out what was going on. Slightly annoying. I feel like if they maybe could have a 3-color LED, or it would go red to say that the noise canceling was off, and blue to show that it's on, and flashing to show that it's an ambient mode or something. I mean, it already has red and blue. because that's how it shows you your charge level. So I feel like they could just change that interface just a little bit. Not so easy with software, but certainly with the hardware, that would work. Now, here's another really interesting thing I found, and this was something that you really want to know about, is that the volume control on the inline controller works perfectly normally on iPhones and Android phones and Windows computers, but you plug this thing into a Macintosh and you push volume up and it will go all the way to the top. And you push volume down, it'll go all the way to 0. So it is a really strange experience. So if you're going to use these with a Macintosh of any sort, either a MacBook Pro or anything like that, then you are either going to have to get used to push one and then push the other when you get to the level you want, or just using the volume control on the device itself. Not a crisis, but something to know about. So much so that the first pair that they sent me, I actually plugged into my MacBook and I was using it and I'm like, what is going on? I sent them back. I said, there's something wrong with your controls because it's sticking. And then they sent me another pair and I'm like, I'm seeing the same behavior. Maybe it's me, maybe it's my device. So then I plugged it into lots of different things. I tried my Samsung, I tried all these different devices and it worked perfectly on all of them except my Macintosh. So important to know, if you're going to plug these into your Mac system, you might possibly be slightly frustrated. Now, not much else to tell you about, so that's sort of the pro and the con. The sound is good, not great, not earth-shattering. You might find it's a little low volume, even at maximum output, and I'm not sure what's up there. It might just be an impedance mismatch, so, you know, even if that's the case, though, you would think that on some devices it would get loud and on other devices it would maybe be middle ground. I really couldn't get this to be super loud on anything, which was a little bit of a drag. I don't necessarily need to hear super duper loud music, but it's nice to have the option when you're hearing just like a favorite passage in a piece of music or favorite lyrics or a refrain or something. You know what I'm talking about, right? So I gotta say, I really like Cleer. I really like their engineering. The packaging obviously is really good. The little bag is a wonderful way to carry things. And yet, I feel like their interface here, the whole experience was just not what I was hoping for. The LED feedback being here, even though the control is up here, turning this on and still not having noise cancellation till I push a second button on a completely different place on the headphones. What the LED was showing me, all of that I found confusing. You, again, your experience might be different. You might say, dude, seriously? Like, spend 60 seconds using this darn device and you'll get it all wired. I did not have that experience, but you might. So these might work great for you. Again, keep in mind that they are super friendly with the vast majority of devices, but not so much with your Macintosh systems. So possibly not the best choice. And finally, I also have to say that I didn't find the noise cancellation to be all that overwhelming. So when I had a lot of ambient noise around me, I still felt like I had a fair amount of ambient noise. Now, it might be that I have other noise canceling devices that really do a superb job. So these do something. I mean, there's definitely a difference between having it on or not having it on. But again, if you're hoping you can wear these on an airplane and you have no idea you're flying, probably not going to be a great match. So yeah, lukewarm review, but hey, you got to say, I am honest and straightforward with you, right? So clearly this is not a sponsored review because they would not be happy I was saying this, but this is my experience. Yours may vary. So now, let me just tell you about the price. But before we get there, if you could do me a favor, give me some feedback. How do you like this review? How do you like the way I'm presenting information? What do you think about how honest and straightforward I am? Or would you rather I just said all the great things and ignored everything else? Let me know in the comments, give me a thumbs up. And hey, while you're at it, click on that subscribe button. I sure appreciate when people subscribe to my channel. Cool. Okay, so only thing left to talk about with these Cleer TREK noise canceling headphones is the price. And they will cost you $149.99. You can pick them up at Amazon.com or clear.us. And they come in this black, and they also come in a really pretty sweet looking red. So I encourage you to keep them on your short list for possibilities for headphones with noise cancellation, but keep in mind the limitations I had. So, Steve Taylor, that's all I got for you, so I'll catch you in my next video.